Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well and staying warm. Again, it's still cold down here. I'm in Arkansas. For anybody, if this is your first time here, thanks for dropping in. This is Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, some current true crime in the news, and more. So if those are things that you are interested in, while you're here, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell so you get notifications of when I upload new videos or go live. I try to do 1 to 2, maybe 3 sometimes, either live streams or videos a week. I cover mainly lesser known cases that don't get the national attention. That is my heart and soul of my channel. Not that the bigger, more, I can't talk tonight as usual. Not that the more high profile cases, they get all the national attention. Not that those victims aren't important, but there are so many cases out there that just don't get attention. And sometimes not even locally, they don't get a whole lot of attention. So that is my goal here, is to try to bring more attention to those missing persons and cold cases. So anything, I'm a small channel. In February 13th, I believe, will be my 1-year anniversary since I started my channel. So I'm excited about that. And I've made it past, my goal was to make it to 400, and I have made it. I think last time I checked, it was 404. So thank you everybody who has subscribed. So subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting all helps small channels like mine reach more people, to bring more awareness to, like I said, these so many missing persons and cold cases. So while you're here, please hit that like button for the live stream. And I also, because somebody on my last stream had mentioned, because with the YouTube policies with being monetized and all that stuff, I haven't reached, I don't know what the whole policies are, but somebody in my last live stream has suggested to do the buy me a coffee thing, and I'd seen it on other creators' sites, so I'd have set up a buy me a coffee. And if I can, you can find it in the description, the link to it in the subscription or the description box of my channel. And if I can, I'll go in and try to put it in chat. I'm just going to give it a try, see how it works. But the most important thing that I want y'all to know about, because my goal is not to, make all the money in the world on YouTube. It's just to help bring more awareness to these cases. So I started the donations at $5. So for every $5 that is donated, $2 of it will be going to a very worthy foundation that some other creators who are my favorite creators and inspirations and good people, they have a foundation where they go out and help. And anybody who's watched my channel regularly and who watches those other channels know who I'm talking about. They go out free of charge for families to help them find find their loved ones or loved ones' remains or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, $5 of all donate, or two, for every $5 is donated, $2 will be going to that foundation. I will keep a tally of everything. If anything is donated, nobody feel obligated to donate anything. I know times are hard sometimes, but if you can, please do donate. And probably at the end of every month, I will go to that particular creator's. I attend his live streams as much as I can, and you can do donations, and I will keep a tally of everything that's donated and how much for that month should go to the creator, and I will make that donation, and I will take a screenshot of it, just let you know that it surely is going where it's supposed to go. So anyway, that was a long-winded explanation of all that. But anyway, let's see what we got going on. That all. Go to comments, see who's here. Dandelions. Good evening, my dears. Good to have you here. Oh, Dandy, you are on it, girlfriend. Dandy has already got my I was gonna try to do it myself. Thank you, Dandy. She's already got my link to my buy me a coffee up there. Thank you, Dandy. I think maybe you were the one that suggested doing that. But like I said, it will help me. I'm currently not working right now. I do plan on becoming once again a contributing member to society, but just have to take a little break and regroup my mind from my last job. And I'm going to be doing a weekend trip the first or second weekend of February down in Mardi Gras at Bossier City. So after that, I'm going to still be, or I will be keep looking for a job in earnest. Dandy says it's not highlighted in the link though. That's fine. It's fine. I can probably put it in. I think you have to do the HTTP on all that mess, but I'll try to put it in here in a minute. But anyway, like I said, so once again, I'm repeating myself, but for every $5 that's donated, $2 will be donated to the Worthy Foundation. That is very dear to my heart, and to most others that know who I'm talking about. Will be now donated to those creators that have teamed up and go out and help find missing person, help families free of charge. So they need all the help they can get, all the donations they can get. And it is, I'll go ahead and say it is a True Crime Web. So definitely go check them out if you haven't already. They have a 501k foundation that you can donate to. All sorts of ways to donate. So I just want to do, since I set up, not only, kind of help myself a little bit here, but to help them go out, have enough funds to go out, keep going out to help these families with missing loved ones. Okay. Once again, I'm babbling. People are going to start leaving. Hopefully it's not going to be, I think hopefully I'm a little bit more prepared than I was, my last live stream. I was late getting here. Lots of stuff to go over tonight. Of course, the main focus is going to be the Dee Warner case. I think Junior Johnson had requested that I do this one. Now, I don't have all the minute details. I have the basic information of when she disappeared, what happened, or, well, we don't know exactly what happened, have an idea. But Junior had told me when he first mentioned this case to me that the interview room, and Dandy, if you're there, if you want to put a link to the interview room channel, you can put it in there. Or I can try to do it here in a minute. He told me that the interview room, McDonough, the name, and the name slipped my mind. It's McDonough and the private investigator. There we go. Dandy got it. Thank you, Dandy. keep on saying, is it Billy McDonough? Is something McDonough and Billy? Somebody help me, Dandy or somebody. I know who you're all talking about. Anyway, they covered or investigated the Dee Warner case extensively. So last night I did my homework and I watched the one of the videos that they did on the Dee Warner case, and it will blow your mind. So I suggest you please go and check it out. After the stream, I will put a link to it in the description section when YouTube will let me edit. Yep, Dandy's got it. This is a link to the interview room channel. Like I said, you can go to YouTube. That's how I found it. I just put in Dee Warner in the interview room and it popped right up. So much intricate, because I think at first this case, which I think, in my opinion, part of it was kind of like a DV situation. But once and it kills me, I can't remember the names of the two fellas. The one that McDonough is a former detective, I think in New York, from New York City. I could be wrong. And the other, Billy, is a private investigator, and I think he was former law enforcement, or I know he was military. Did extensive investigating and brought out so much. So it definitely goes a lot deeper than just a DV situation. But nonetheless, Dee's body still has not been found, so that is the most important thing now, because there was an arrest made, I think this year or in 2023, but her remains have not been found. So that is the most important thing, is to be able to bring her family. I think her brother has been a big advocate for her, along with the rest of her family. They just need to be able to find Dee and bring her home so they can lay her to rest. Okay, I'm already out of breath and I'm only 12 minutes in. So, but before we get to that, I was doing more research or checking in on some of my featured missing persons that I've featured. And I have a big update on a missing person that I had featured who turned up deceased, unfortunately. And there was a big update on that case. So I'll bring you that information. And then some surprising, or very, not so, I shouldn't say surprising, very sad developments about the lady that I was going to feature as my missing person tonight. So I'll have that information for you. So before I keep babbling on, we'll get into it. Get my slides up here. Let's see if I can make this full screen for a minute so I can read. So this is tonight's featured missing person. In the beginning, for anybody who's new here or watching the replay, at the beginning of all my live streams and videos, I always have a featured missing person. So tonight's featured missing person is Aniyah Matlock. She went missing from North Little Rock, Arkansas on November 19th of 23. She is just 17 years old. She is a black female, 5'6", 135 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. So she disappeared or went missing from Little Rock, but it is believed that she may be in the Pine Bluff, Arkansas area. So anybody in the general Arkansas area around Little Rock, Pine Bluff, please keep an eye out. And if you see Aniyah or have any information about her possible whereabouts, please contact the North Little Rock Police Department at 501-758-1234. So that is and I will put a link, because this comes from the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page. I will put a link to it, in the comment section as soon as I finish this, because it will let me comment. And then when it lets me edit, I will put everything in the description box. So let me see what we got going. So, and then we have Jack Morrison. I think I featured him in my last live stream. 83-year-old gentleman went missing from Beaver, Oklahoma. He is still missing, unfortunately. And I do have a little bit of an article that I'm going to read from. Take this out. So, that I'm going to read from, it just gives a little bit more information about him. But he went missing on January 7th. Jack Morrison, 83 years old, 5'11", 150 pounds, with gray hair and brown eyes. His family said that he had gone out. Apparently, his dog named Salty had run away, or he couldn't find him, so he got in his truck. This was around 5:15 p.m. on January 7th. It was a maroon 2000 Dodge Dakota. He was going to go out to try to find his dog. He was observed north. He was caught on security cameras at one of the local convenience stores, and then he was observed north of Booker, Texas. And a few minutes later, another camera caught him going south on Highway 23. So somebody in that area of Beaver, Oklahoma, and Booker, Texas, please keep your eye out. He has diabetes, COPD, dementia. He relies on oxygen and insulin. And the level of his oxygen in his tank at the time of his disappearance is unknown. And I'm going to have to go back out because I can't read the... hold on. And I'm still not going to be able to read it. Oh. Go back. Okay. So let me find Mr. Get everything here so I can read. Yes, thank you. Billy Little Jr. and Chris McDonough. Those are the interview room. Very, very smart, intelligent. Worked a lot on the Dee Warner case. Brought a lot of information that apparently, from when I watched the video they did, that the local police departments either couldn't or didn't put a lot of effort into this case. Okay, so let me find the right bookmark. All right, so this is a little bit more information about Jake Morrison. His family says it is so hard, and this comes from KFDA. It's a local news website. The family says it's so hard. Family of missing elderly Beaver County man Jack Morrison continues search. Get these ads out of the way. As the search for Jack Morrison continues, his family wants him to be found, obviously. Peggy Morrison, Jack Morrison's wife, says on Sunday he got into his pickup and took off to look for his dog Salty. She says that Jack hadn't driven for a long time, so that shocked her, for one, that he would get in the truck and take off. According to the family, he drove south of Beaver, Oklahoma to Booker, Texas, which is the last place around Booker, was the last place that he was seen on a video surveillance. He is described as a sweet, funny, helpful man, and Peggy Morrison says she just wants her husband home. Just whenever I read these interviews, it just breaks my heart. But I always, when I'm covering sharing a missing person or a cold case, I always try to find some interviews with family members, because aside from the victims, the family members are the most important part of all these cases and these missing persons. Peggy, his wife, says, I just want to know that he's safe and taken care of, and no matter whether he's alive or not. Breaks my heart. She says, this not knowing anything, I don't know how people have gone through this. It's so hard. The community has rallied around the family by searching for him. She says that everyone went out that night and looked for him. The fire department, police department, individuals, the community, they went out and drove for hours looking for him, and they've supported us as a family. It's one thing you see, not getting political, but some people and institutions would like you to think that this country is so divided and nobody helps each other. But no matter if it's a big town, a small town, when something like this happens, 99.999% of the community and the people are going to come out and help and do anything they can. So that's my soapbox. I'll get off of it for now. 3 separate private planes also searched for Jack Morrison, according to the Beaver County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office is working to determine the direction of travel that Jack took after he continued south at Booker. Officials are asking any business in the area to please check video footage for any sign of Jack or his truck, which once again is a 2000 maroon Dodge Dakota. And if you have any information or may have seen Jack Morrison, please call the Beaver County Sheriff's Office at 580-625-4549, or you can also call 911. So that is the latest information on Mr. Jack Morrison, 83 years old. Let's just hope that that he can be brought home safely. But I will definitely, as always, yes, Dandy, very, very valid point. Dandy says, I hope he didn't have a diabetic incident and is found safe. Yes, the insulin, well, everything is concerning, but the lack of oxygen in the air tank and the insulin, because I have one of my younger brothers is type 1 juvenile diabetic, and you have to have that insulin, no matter what kind of, because there's different types of diabetes, but you have to have that insulin. If you don't have that insulin, unfortunately, bad things can happen. So yes, hopefully, I'm hoping that maybe if he did have an insulin coma or an insulin incident, or he ran out of oxygen and maybe passed out, that maybe somebody wherever he was found him and he's in a hospital somewhere and they just haven't either been able to identify him yet or contact his family. So everybody just send their thoughts and prayers and good vibes out that Mr. Morrison is found safely. Okay, let's see what we're doing next. And if I go in and out and if I disappear, I apologize. I've noticed that my connection, because I use my hotspot to do this, and oh, hold on. I was almost going to go into the upside down again because I forgot to plug in my charger on my phone. I was at 31%. Okay, we're plugged in now. We should be good. Oh, goodness. Almost, and I forgot to put up my standard, my new disclaimer about my imaginary audience that's watching my lives. What you're about to see is a nightmare. Not because of the cases, although some of these cases are nightmares, but just my life in general, seeing what kind of catastrophe will happen. Hopefully we won't have too many tonight. Hopefully some more people will come in here. I know that Chris from the Mob Crew is, and I'm going to have to watch his replay. He is doing a live, probably, I think he started at 6 or 6:30 about the some Delphi stuff. So I'm definitely going to, when I get done with my stream, go watch the replay. And if you can't be here, at the live stream, watching the replay is just as well. So welcome anybody watching the replay. All right, let me see what we're going to get to next. Oh, wrong way. Okay, so this is, and I have a video for this one, so I won't have to read, is Amanda Harms, and this is from Muskogee, Oklahoma. So Amanda was actually going to be my featured missing person tonight. But like I said, yesterday and last night when I was just checking for any updates on anything that was going to talk about here tonight, apparently, because she had gone missing, I believe this past Saturday, and yesterday, unfortunately, she was found deceased. So I wanted to just give y'all some information on that. Let's see, let me remove this. And this just a quick little video, about 2.5 minutes.
Muskogee police say a Muskogee teacher who disappeared over the weekend has been found dead.
Thank you,
Such
Dandy,
a sad
for that.
update. You're watching Fox 23 News at 6. I'm Shay Rozzi.
And I'm Sarah Whaley. Thanks so much for joining us. Definitely not the news anybody wanted. This is 46-year-old Amanda Harms. She was a 6th grade math teacher at the Muskogee 6th and 7th grade academy.
Fox 23's Alex Cash is live in Muskogee after talking with her family just a short time ago. Alex, our thoughts are certainly with them.
Heartbroken and devastated, understandably. This is the area near 44th and Denison where Amanda was last seen alive. Police told us today that her body was found in a backyard around a 10-minute drive away from here on Martin Luther King. Her family told me that they can't believe that she would have walked that far, and they also told me that she was found in a shed. The family told me it was Amanda's 46th birthday last Sunday when she was missing. Her family saying it was awful not knowing where she was that day. Amanda was a 6th grade math teacher at Muskogee Public Schools. Her family say she was a mom of 3 and a grandmother of a 4-year-old. They say she loved her family. They say they think on Saturday night around 8, Amanda couldn't find her car keys, so she was walking to the store. They say she didn't take her phone or money though. Her mom, sister and niece are asking for help to find out how she died and say someone must know something.
We want those questions answered. We have a right to know. And for my daughter, she needs justice. We need to know why this happened and who did it. There's no way that night she could have walked that far, or nor would she. But we're heartbroken. We loved Mandy.
She was an amazing person, caring, loving.
Yeah, and she was a good teacher.
Muskogee police say they are investigating, but officers told us they don't think her death is suspicious. They also say the medical examiner is working to determine the cause of her death. Muskogee Public Schools has given us a statement saying that they're saddened by the news of Amanda's death. They also say they'll have additional counselling services for students and staff on site from tomorrow. The family say if anyone has any information that could help them get those answers that they're after, to contact them or Muskogee Police. Covering news that matters, I'm Alex Cash, Fox 23 News.
All right, guys, that was the such a sad case. Like I said, Amanda was going to be hey, Michigan Wifey, good to have you, dear. It's always good to have you. You hadn't missed much yet. I was babbling as usual during the first. But anyway, thank you for being here, my dear. Thank you, everybody that's here, who's commented, who's lurking. It's okay if you lurk. That's fine. Anybody who's watching on replay. If you didn't hear, if you're just getting here, Amanda was going to be my feature missing person for the night. But like I said earlier, when I went to check on updates, they had found her deceased. And I had some articles I was going to read from, but then I found this video that explained it much more eloquently than I could have read from articles. Such a weird case. Well, when I first heard about it, it seemed weird to me because, like they said, and I read a lot of articles. I went and immediately started searching for articles when I found out that they had found her deceased. And it said that she had, at first says she had or she did leave her home. Now, this is in Oklahoma at 8 o'clock at night. Sorry, I got stuff falling over here. 8 o'clock at night, very cold. She left the house. In one article I read that said that she was going to walk to the store. Now, I don't know. It's falling. I'm sorry. I got an avalanche going or something here. Either that or an earthquake. Anyway, said that she left the house walking at 8 o'clock at night once again. very cold in Oklahoma. She was going to walk to the store. She did, but she didn't take money with her or anything. So I was like, that's kind of red flaggy, sketchy, not red flaggy, but just really very, in my opinion, very strange thing to do. And then in one of the articles I read, the husband did call 911. I can't remember how long it was. But at first, before I read some other information that kind of leads me to another theory. Because she was a school teacher at the Muskogee public school district. So instead of her husband going to the school to, say, hey, I haven't seen Amanda in however long and she's missing and I've notified 911, have you seen her? I would have, been up to the school doing that. He just emailed them and said, this is what's going on. Now, I'm not saying, but to me, that was a little, but like I said, everybody does things, and I'm in no way blaming the husband because we don't know what happened yet. They don't even know the cause of death yet. And as you saw in the video, it says that the police right now didn't find anything suspicious about this, even though she had gone out on foot after dark. She was found in a shed in somebody's backyard, 3 miles from where she lived. But I did read an article. It was, and this comes from the family, so it's just not pulled out of thin air from an incredible source. That it says she did struggle with addiction problems. So it is possible. Now, like I said, I do not know. I'm just going by the information that I've read but this does come from the family. She did or does have a struggle with addiction issues. So my possible theory could be maybe she was going out to try to, and I'm trying to be careful how I say this, try to find some things, and maybe she either couldn't find her keys and she just took off walking, or her husband didn't let her have the keys because he didn't want her to go out to maybe do whatever. And she just a tragic accident. She got lost, disoriented, and went into the shed. Like I said, it was very, very cold, below freezing. And she'd been missing, I believe, for 5 days before she was found. So totally possible that she just wandered off and got disoriented. Went into this shed to try to find some shelter and hypothermia. But still, nonetheless, it's still very strange and obviously very sad. Yeah, Dandy, that's what first thing I thought too when I first read the articles. Dandy says left for the store with no money or phone. Yeah, very suspicious. And like I said, I'm not, and they said that, of course, the medical examiner has to do their thing to find out the cause of death. But I am very interested to know what her COD will be, whether it is from some kind of substances or anything that could have been foul play. Because to me, and like I said, I'm not putting any blame on anyone, but if it was my spouse, I would have been up at that school ASAP wanting to know if they had heard anything from her since she had left the house on the Saturday night at 8 p.m. walking. But like I said, we don't know. As another creator I watch says, it could be something, it could be nothing. We'll just have to wait and see what the autopsy results will be. Dandy says, I'd like to know who reported that info. What info are you talking about? Sorry, you know me. I'm always behind. Always behind. But yes, that was, sorry. Rude to drink on camera, but yeah, very, very sad case, as they all are. So hopefully, when the autopsy results come in, and hopefully they will, although we as a general public don't have the right to know, hopefully they will release the autopsy results so we can kind of get an idea of what happened to Amanda. But once again, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to her family. Okay, let me see what's next. Okay, so this is Michelle, or Michelle Loftin. She had been one of my featured missing persons. Let me find the right article. I had featured her. It's probably been maybe a month or so ago, maybe not that long, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'd featured her in one of my live streams. I found her. I find most of my missing persons that I feature from the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page. It had been posted there that she was had gone missing. She lived in Florida. She had gone to, or Stephanie Loftin is her name. I think I called her Michelle. Stephanie Loftin. She lived in Florida. She had gone to Paris, Texas to visit, I believe, her son. Her son and her daughter-in-law had just had a new had a baby. I think the baby was 6 weeks old. So she had Stephanie had gone up to visit for the holidays and to visit her new grandbaby. When she left to go back to Florida, and she was driving a rental car, she did not make her scheduled flight. The rental car, she never made it to the airport, basically. So, of course, like I said, whenever I feature missing persons, I always keep tabs if there's any updates. I had gone back a week or so later after I'd featured her to see if there were any updates. And unfortunately, it was, I believe, one of her nieces, because I said, I'm going to I'm a YouTube creator, blah, 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 and I'm going to feature her on as a missing person like I do on all of them. And the niece, or either the niece or somebody who knew the niece, let me know that Stephanie had been found deceased. So that, of course, shocked and broke my heart. And then there was comments that said, I was reading down through all the comments, and it said that the rental car, there were rumors at that time that the rental car had been found, but Stephanie had not been found. And then a little later on, a few days later, it was reported on the Facebook post that unfortunately she had been found deceased, and that she was indeed the victim of a homicide. So on, once again, let me get the ads out of my way. On January 17th, it was reported, this is from KXII.com. And like I said, once the stream ends and YouTube lets me go in and edit, I always put all the links to all the sources that I use, so that they're credible and that I just don't pull this information out of thin air. Anyway, so missing woman found deceased in Love County, boyfriend arrested for her homicide. Yes, Dandy says that is terribly sad. Yes, I was just shocked when all right. So the body of a woman missing out of Lamar County, Texas, was recovered Monday in Love County, Oklahoma, law enforcement officials said. Love County Sheriff Andy Cumberledge said several agencies worked working together, recovered the body of Stephanie Loftin, who he says her life had been taken and buried in a clandestine grave in western Love County early last month. Stephanie was reported missing in Lamar County, Texas on December 6th of 2023. Cumberledge said a rental vehicle registered to Loftin was located in Stevens County, abandoned on December 14th. Through extensive investigation, Stevens and Love County deputies were able to connect Loftin and the abandoned vehicle to a suspect, Michael Gonzalez. So Michael Gonzalez was her estranged boyfriend. Through the course of the investigation, it was discovered that the victim had been shot by her estranged boyfriend in the southern portion of Love County and buried in western Love County on the night of December 3rd into the morning of December 4th. So sometime late that night, early that morning. Cumberland said Gonzalez then fled the state to California in an attempt to evade capture. An arrest warrant was issued for him, and he was arrested by the LAPD. He was then extradited back to Oklahoma, where he is facing unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and a charge of first-degree in Love County. And an online benefit account has been established to help with family and funeral expenses. And I will, it's a GoFundMe. And if I remember to, I have it bookmarked in my browser. I will also include that in the description box. So, her estranged boyfriend. And I have another article to read that from the family that gives more information about the situation. But that was so they found her. At least they found her and arrested the alleged. I have to say alleged offender. So let me find the next article. Okay. Probably shouldn't say it, but my computer is actually working relatively fast tonight. Okay, so this also comes from kxii.com, and it is from January 17th, and it says, family of Paris, Texas woman says her story is not over yet. After Love County investigators found a missing woman's body at a Bernieville property this week, her family is working to prevent other families from going through the same tragedy. Stephanie Loftin was reported missing from Lamar County on December 6th, and a rental car in her name was found abandoned in Stevens County a few days later. Stephanie's nieces, Ava Fender and Michaela Birch, which Michaela is the one that either she or somebody, a close friend of hers, was the niece that was giving the information on the Morgan Nick Facebook page. So the nieces, Ava and Michaela, said that Stephanie could be friends with anyone. They say she was always the life of the party. She was always smiling and had the prettiest smile and the brightest blue eyes. They went on to say she could be around anybody and just get along with anyone. Stephanie's love for her family was what brought her back to Paris, Texas, after she had recently moved to Florida. She has a brand new 6-week-old grandson, Fender said. That's the whole reason she was in Texas, was to meet him. She loved her children and grandchildren, and she made them a priority, Bircher said. Fender and Bircher said their aunt had ended her relationship with Michael Gonzalez, who is the alleged offender. And it says, Fender said that Stephanie knew that Gonzalez was going to take her life. Fender said everyone told her that he was going to harm her, and she tried to get away and she moved away. So apparently, I gather from this that maybe she had lived in Paris, Texas, or in that area, and that she had moved. She had broken off her relationship with this Gonzalez, her estranged boyfriend, and moved to Florida to get away from him. Because apparently there was DV involved. So Bircher, one of the nieces, went on to say she ended up meeting up with him, presumably somewhere in either Texas or Oklahoma. I'm assuming in Texas, since she was going to fly out of Dallas-Fort Worth, but she never made it to the airport. Bircher said it was a DV situation, bad relationship. I'm not sure why she ended up meeting up with him. I know a lot of people are going to say, why did she even? But if you've never been in a DV situation before, she was had apparently gotten out of it, but anytime they try to make contact, the offender tries to make contact with you, and you're just nothing you can do sometimes. It's just that fear. So an affidavit stated that a Stevens County deputy tracked Gonzalez down, and he was arrested in LA. Gonzalez told the investigator where Stephanie's body could be found on a property in Bernieville. Records state the medical examiner told Love County investigators that Stephanie had been shot, and Gonzalez, like I said, has been charged with first degree. But, and I find this last part excellent, just genius, and I don't know if it can be done, but hopefully something can be done. Loftin's nieces say that they don't want Stephanie's story to end there. Her nieces say, we really want to use her story to mean something. We want to highlight that DV is real and it happens all the time. So that's why they are planning to work on laws in Stephanie's memory, hoping to create a national registry for convicted DV offenders and a national alert system for missing victims of DV. To me, that is genius, and it's something that I am all for. Now, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the legalities that go into doing things like this, but I mean, you have a SA registry that SA offenders have to register. So to me, like I said, I understand the right to privacy and all this, but that is, to me, and please, anybody out there watching or watching replay, let me know what y'all think about this. To me, a national alert system for missing victims of known DV victims who go missing, some kind of alert, that is an excellent idea. So these two nieces of hers are very smart young ladies, in my opinion, and they have very good ideas. And Michaela Bircher said, we're working on doing that in her name. So like I said, hopefully, like I said, I know there are hoops you have to jump through and red tape and all that kind of stuff to get these laws and alerts in place, but hopefully something like that can be put in place, because I'm telling you, and I was going to look up these statistics, and once again I forgot, of how many women, because the majority, I do know that the majority of DV victims are women. Now there are, of course, DV victims that are male, but the majority are women. And I was going to look up the statistic of how many women are killed, are harmed, their lives are taken each year by DV, and I forgot to. But yeah, it is most definitely, unfortunately, an ongoing problem, and anything that can be done to help the situation, I'm all for. But like I said, you guys let me know what you think. Okay, I think that is So, please, everybody, once again, thoughts, prayers, good vibes to Stephanie and her family. And I will obviously keep an eye on this one to see if and when there will be a trial, or he may take a alleged offender, may take a plea deal, who knows. But I will definitely keep my eye on it and bring you any updates if there are any. Right, let's see what we got next. I think I'm going backwards again. So I think that was yeah, that was what we just talked about. Okay, and I don't have to make this full screen. Dandy, I did get your make this full screen. I did get your hold on, let me go back out. Take this comment off so I can, or so I can't, because I can't read it if I don't take it off. Oh, stop it. Keep hitting the wrong I did get your thank you for all the trouble you went through to send me the Rex Heuermann, the superseding indictment documents. Thank you so much. I did read all of it, but what I found interesting, and like I said, I have no clue when it. Well, I say no clue, limited knowledge of how the legal process works. But what I found interesting in reading this is, so this is the people, of course, of the state of New York against Rex A. Heuermann, is that as of right now, he is charged with 3 counts of first degree and 4 counts of second degree. So for the first 3 victims, Melissa, Megan, and Amber, he was charged with both first degree and second degree. But if we look at count 7, which concerns Maureen Brainard-Barnes, as of right now, now it could change, I don't know. As of right now, he is only charged with second degree when it comes to Maureen Brainard-Barnes. Like I said, I have no knowledge, or limited knowledge of how the legal system works and how people are charged. But I just found it interesting that as of right now, like I said, it could change. As of when I'm recording this video, he has only been charged with second degree in the Maureen. So I found that interesting. But anybody who has more legal knowledge than I do, either watching now or watching replay, please let me know how that works. So thank you once again, Dandy Linus, for all the trouble you went through. And I think I figured out why I could not find these when you originally sent them to me on the live. For some reason, it put them in my spam folder, and when I was trying to look for them in my email on my laptop, I didn't think to look in my spam folder, because when I went to my phone, that's where I found them at, was in the spam folder. But you have been removed from spam, so you're good. All right, let me go back out, see what's going on. Okay, Dandy says the second degree is because of the amount of time between the M's. Okay. So between the M's of the other 3, or the time between when they estimate or think that Maureen was M'd and then her body was found. I think I know what you mean. But yeah. That was just something that caught my eye, and I was like, I wonder why it wasn't first and second for her also. But anyway, thank you for that information, Dandy. Dandy always has the answers. That's why she's going to be she may not want to be, but she's going to be my go-to for information. And she is one of my mods that I need for all my, let's see, 4 people that are here. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. I gave wrenches to some people and it says 18-month time gap. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Yeah, I gave some people some wrenches the other night. Not that because I think there's going to be trouble, but so people could put links in, because only mods and the creator who's doing the live stream can put in links and such. So I think I tried to put in my link to my Buy Me a Coffee again a while ago, but I don't think it worked because I don't think I typed it in right. But anyway, okay. So now we will get to our focus featured case of the week, which is the case of Dee Warner. Once again, thank you to Junior Johnson. He's the one that suggested this one. So we would be, and like I said, I just have the basic information just to bring what more awareness to this case. Like I said, Dandy found earlier on found the link to the interview room channel. Chris McDonough and Billy Little, who did extensive, especially Billy, the private investigator, did extensive work on this, on the Dee Warner case, and handed it over to the police who were investigating. And I think, or I'm pretty sure that they were the ones that Billy and all his investigations were. He had a big hand in the eventual arrest that was made in Dee's case. And he says, "Hello, lurkers, don't be shy." Yeah, you can be shy, but you can feel free to comment. Everybody's opinion is welcome here. Just be respectful of each other, the victims and the victims' families. But I understand lurkers, because when I first started, before I even started my channel, and I started attending live shows, when I started getting in watching the true crime channels, I was a lurker. I never commented until it took a long time for me to start commenting. But anyway, glad that everybody's here. So, just a basic information from the Charley Project to begin with. Dee went missing on April 25th, 2021 from Tipton, Michigan. She was 52 years old when she went missing. 5'4", 140 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. She had blonde highlights in her hair. So she was last seen, and this, like I said, this is from the Charley Project, and there are some updated information that I'll bring, but this is just the basic. She was last seen at her home on a Mugner Road in Tipton, Michigan, in the early morning hours. I think it was like between 3 and 5 a.m. Hours of April 25th, 2021. The evening before, she, her husband, and one or two of their employees, because, and like I said, this is where you need to go watch the interview room, their video on this, because her husband owned the farm part of, and then Dee, owned a trucking business that was very successful. And this trucking business is, in my opinion, and the interview room's opinion, plays a very, very big part in allegedly what could have happened, or why it happened. But anyway, so the evening before, she, her husband, and one, I think it was just one, according to the interview room, of their employees got into an argument. Her husband later called it, quote, the worst argument of his life. Her husband, Dale Warner, said that Dee left the house at around 6:30 a.m. and at the time, Dale said that he left the house around 6:30 a.m. and at the time, Dee was asleep on the couch. When he came back home, she was gone. This is according to him. And she has never been heard from again. But she left all the family vehicles behind, and since her disappearance, has been no activity on her cell phone, bank account, credit cards, etc. And apparently, according to her husband, because apparently her husband had claimed that she had run off to Jamaica or Mexico or somewhere, and all that she took with her was a curling iron. And they also had I believe at the time, their daughter was 9 years old. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And she also left behind a $50,000 wedding ring that her husband claimed that she had taken when they were having, because apparently, and we'll get into this more, I'm getting ahead of myself. Apparently they had a separate argument. They were going to get they wanted to get a divorce, but they were going to have to go through the splitting of the assets of these companies, even though the Dale side, his part, the farming side of it, was a miserable failure, and Dee's side of it, the trucking company, was doing very well. Now, this is, like I said, this is according to the interview room. So apparently he said they'd had a big argument, was going to get a divorce, and she had taken her $50,000 wedding ring off and left it laying on the office, I think in either his or her office in their home. Like I said, take that for what it's worth. So Dee ran her own trucking company and agricultural business at the time of her disappearance. She had 4 adult children and 1 9-year-old daughter. Her loved one stated that her marriage was extremely troubled. Dale allegedly stalked her and put a tracking device in her car. There had been one episode of DV, and Dee wanted a divorce. The day before her disappearance, she had gone to an eyelash appointment. Her, I can't say that word. The lady that was going to do her eyelashes stated that she was crying when she arrived. She was upset about a disagreement she'd had with Dale. But she did schedule another appointment at the end of her session, indicating that she had no plans to leave the area anytime soon. Her property, her and Dale's property, did have security cameras, but Dee was not seen on them at any time after April 24th. Her passport, her cell phone have not been used. So that goes back to if Dale, her husband, thought that she had run off to Jamaica, Mexico, she would have had to have her passport. She has not made any contact with anybody by email, phone, text, or social media. Her family did not believe that she would have simply just walked out of her life and abandoned her family just over her marriage problems and abandoned her very successful business. Okay, so that is the basic information. So we'll go to the next one, and this I've been talking about the interview room. This is comes from originalnewsbreak.com, and then you see up there, I give credit to the Tracy Stengel. Apparently she watched this video from the interview room, and she just kind of gives information and timeline that they had that the guys from the interview room, Chris McDonough and Billy Little, what they said in their video. So just kind of a little bit more information about the timeline. Yes, there is. Thank you, Dandy. There is the link to the interview room video, or to the channel. Thank you, Dandy. Okay, so and this article is from June of 2022. So it says, on Wednesday night, Chris McDonough, retired homicide detective and behavioral expert, and Billy Little Jr., investigative attorney and war hero, discussed their latest findings on the disappearance of Dee Warner on McDonough's YouTube channel, The Interview Room. So Dee disappeared from Tecumseh, Michigan, from her home. We know she owned a trucking business. She and her husband Dale were in the farming business. Dale has claimed from the beginning that he believes Dee ran off to Mexico or Jamaica. Once again, how would she run off to Mexico or Jamaica without her passport? Unless you can get into Mexico and Jamaica by using your curling iron as a passport. Because apparently, according to Dale, all she took with her when she supposedly ran off to go to Jamaica was her curling iron. He says she ran off to Mexico or Jamaica with her curling iron, but without her 9-year-old daughter, without the cash that she kept in her desk. And I think it was around $5,000 that she had hidden or kept in her desk that I think it said Dale did not know about. Without money, she left without her daughter, without cash that she kept in her desk, without any kind of money, without a vehicle, and without security cameras seeing her leave. But Dale claims that she did take her curling iron. Dale and Dee married in 2006. Billy Little described their relationship as an escalating cycle of violence. And according to him, quote, it all came to a head on the 24th of April, 2021, which is when the last time that she was seen. These adult children reported seeing Dee missing Sunday, April 25th of 2021. During the podcast, Little revealed what Dee was doing in the days leading up to her disappearance. So on Tuesday, Dee had went shopping for a large generator for her business. On Thursday, her jeweler told her that the $5,000 ring that she had ordered was ready to be picked up. She never picked up that ring, as she vanished 3 days later. On Friday, she sold seed to other farmers. That evening, she got into an argument with her husband Dale and an employee, Todd Narink, about the trucking business. And according to Billy Little, who is the private investigator, Dee felt Narink was backstabbing her and Dale was siding against her. And after watching everything that they had to say that the interview room, McDonough and Little had to say about, because they go in depth about this whole trucking situation and what happened. I tend to agree with them. So on Saturday, April 24th, Dee got her eyelashes done. She made 2 advance appointments. She told everyone she planned to tell Dale that she wanted a divorce. She was going to tell him that evening. A friend offered to take their daughter overnight, so this 9-year-old wouldn't have to witness this discussion and argument, which is a good thing. And according to Billy Little, Dee was crying and throwing up all day. So Billy Little's timeline shows Dee Warner arrived home from work on Saturday at around 7 p.m. At 7:42 p.m., the daughter is picked up by the friend to go spend the night out of the house. So that left Dale and Dee alone to discuss the divorce situation. At 8:34 p.m., Dale came across an employee in one of the barns or garages. Dale apparently asked him to leave the property, and Billy Little said Dale was wearing cowboy boots, shorts, and no shirt. According to Billy Little, his choice of attire seemed unusual. I would agree. And the data from the nearby weather station in Michigan showed that the temperature that day was 47 degrees. So I don't think you would want to be out just wearing shorts, cowboy boots, and no shirt in 47-degree weather. But that's just me. At 10:24 p.m., the friend that picked up their daughter texted Dee asking, "How are you?" And at 10:53 p.m., the response from Dee's phone simply was the letter K, like saying, possibly meaning okay. And it says, of all the thousands of text messages I've seen, never once has Dee texted K. So it's suspicious. This is what Billy Little said. And after that text, her phone switches from Wi-Fi to cell service. And while Dale claims to have been home sleeping all night, Billy Little has a witness saying all the house lights were on most of the night. And at 2:30 a.m., Dee's phone and her Apple Watch go dead forever. So in other words, after 2:30 p.m., there was no activity from her phone or her Apple Watch. So Billy Little has evidence that Dale did leave the house at 3 a.m. to go to his father's house, and he returned back to he and Dee's home at 4:30 a.m. So according to Billy Little, we know that morning before Dale goes to his father's house, Todd Nerick comes over to pick up a truck. Little said Todd Nerick took a limited polygraph and he did pass it, but he would like Nerick to take a more extensive polygraph. Little said Dale says he left for work at 6 a.m. and saw Dee snoring on their couch. At 9:30 a.m., Dee's daughter and her family show up for their usual Sunday breakfast. Although Dee's vehicles were on the property, Dee was nowhere to be found. At 11 a.m., Dale was holding Dee's $50,000 wedding ring, claiming to have found it on his desk in the office. According to Little, on Monday, the day after Dee disappeared, Dale secretly met with someone to change the password on the security system. He also went shopping for an attorney. No, he did not go, as Billy Little says. No, he did not try to find a detective to find his wife. He hired an attorney for himself. So that is a little bit more information on the timeline of when Dee went missing. So obviously, if you have any information about the disappearance or possible whereabouts of Dee or her remains, please call Detective Greca at 517-264-5364. All right, so that was the little bit more information about the timeline. I hope I'm coming through all right. Like I said, my cell service is kind of sketchy tonight. I apologize if I go in and out or if the voices or the sound is messed up. I'll have to get something besides Verizon. Verizon is not very reliable a lot of times. All right, so anybody who may be in here who missed it, let me go. Someone to switch to. Somebody has suggested that I do set up a buy me a coffee account. Since I haven't reached the whatever you have to reach to be funded on YouTube. So I did set it up. So if you can, don't feel obligated. If you can, please, I'll put the link in. I think I put it in wrong a while ago. But the important thing that I want you guys to know about this is, yes, it does help me too. But for every $5 that's donated, $2 out of every $5 will go to the True Crime Web Foundation. And anybody here knows, Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve and Chris and the Mob Crew and Carolyn, they go out, help families find missing persons free of charge. So support and donations through their foundation and the community is what helps them be able to go out and do what they do. So I just wanted to try to give to that a little to help them so they can go out and do what they do, because they do very, very good work. All right, let me see if I can put this in here right this time. Shoot. Hold on, once again. Okay. Having trouble typing. So right in my way so I can see. Almost messed up again. Okay, I got it right this time. Okay, there it is. I think I got it right that time. Like I said, any and all donations are appreciated. And like I said, a portion of it will go to a very, very worthy cause. Okay, back to Miss D. And you can also find the link to the Buy Me a Coffee, my Buy Me a Coffee in the description section of my channel. Okay. So next, let's see what we're going to go to. Okay, so we're going to Dee's family wanted her, trying to find all my, I got so many bookmarks here. Dee's family wanted her to be declared deceased. And apparently from what I understand it, so they could, and this is before an arrest was made. So they could, if she was declared deceased, they could pursue civil action against any potential offenders. So this information comes from WXYZ Detroit ABC News website. And it is from, let's see what the date is, from September of 2022. And so it says it's been almost a year and a half and no one has seen or heard from Dee Warner. Her children believe that she is deceased and they're now asking a judge to agree with them as part of their effort to hold someone accountable for her death. This is just one, sorry, now my computer's decided to be slow. This is just one step in a long legal road that could end with a wrongful death lawsuit. Family members say Dee Warner never would have missed her granddaughter's first day of kindergarten. Now it's not moving. I might be able to read this. Hold on, it won't move. Raquel Bach, who is one of Dee's 5 children, says, I just can't wrap my head around it. Now I got the ads popping up. I apologize, guys. Wrong screen. Once again, dumpster fire. She says it's, oh my gosh. Now there's so much lag. I apologize. She says it was horrible, but at this point, I'm so much more frustrated than I am sad because it's gone on for so long. And for me to have to live or to feel like I have to convince people that my mom would never run away from us is so frustrating. That's why these children filed a petition with the Lenawee County probate court to have the 52-year-old Dee legally declared deceased. According to the court filing, more than 4,000 acres of land have been searched using drones and other methods. In August, the Michigan State Police took over the case. These children, brother, and close friends just filed sworn affidavits with the court detailing their, sorry, it's jumping. Detailing their fears that something went terribly wrong when Dee tried to tell her husband Dale that she wanted a divorce the night that she vanished. She expressed that to almost everybody she spoke to and her friend, knowing that that was the intent, knowing that this was not going to be a good conversation because of the two personalities. The friend, like we talked about before, took the 9-year-old child to keep her overnight so they could have the conversation. Of course, Dale's attorney maintains that his client had nothing to do with Dee's disappearance. He feels horribly about his wife's disappearance. He had nothing to do with it. Over the course of a year, there's been no evidence to suggest that he did, that he was a loving husband. The attorney said Dale believes Dee left the country and he wants to find his wife. He also said that Dale misses his wife. Okay, so that, but the probate court filing provides new insight into the last day Dee was seen alive. Okay, we already went over that, the timeline. Court records also reveal that Dee has not shown up on any facial recognition technology anywhere across the world, so she hasn't shown up on any CCTV or surveillance cameras. There's been no activity anywhere. Her phone, credit cards, bank accounts, passport was never used. They have never traced her license being scanned. One of Dee's sons told the court in his affidavit that his mother kept an envelope of cash hidden in her office. He said Dale never knew about the hidden cash and that, quote, the envelope containing the cash was still in the hidden location and had not been disturbed when Dee disappeared. Sorry. My computer's still slow. Having Dee legally declared deceased allows the family to pursue other legal actions, including a wrongful death lawsuit against, guess who? Justice can be in a criminal court or justice can be in a civil court. But this is part of the process of closing the doors and getting justice, making sure that the community is safe, said Billy Little. We just want to hold somebody accountable for our mother's life. And at this point, nobody's being held accountable, and it just feels wrong. Bach, who's one of the children, told seven investigator Heather Cataldo. Having to ask a court to declare your mother deceased is a family's worst nightmare. I can't imagine. But after nearly a year and a half of searching, the facts and evidence gathered lead us all to one conclusion: Dee Warner has passed and will not be coming home, said one of Bach's attorneys, Ryan Rizzo, in a statement to the 7 investigators. While law enforcement officials have told Dale Warner that he is a person of interest in this case, his attorney told this news website or whatever it is that Dale is doing everything he can to cooperate with police. That's what they all say. Lieb, who I think was Dale's lawyer, says that they also plan to respond to the petition in probate court, and a hearing was scheduled for March. Okay, I think that. Okay, so that was all that. So the and I think that she was, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if they ever got it straightened out if they ever had her declared legally deceased or not. Okay, so now we're going to go fast forward to, they did do a extensive search of the property of Dale and Dee's property. Let's see if this is the right article. Please let me know if I'm hanging in there, if y'all can hear me okay. Right. Almost an hour and a half in. We're almost done, I promise. Y'all guys are being quiet tonight, but that's okay. So this comes from WTOL11.com. Let me know if I'm on the right slide. Okay. House and property of missing Lenawee, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, county woman being searched. And this is from October of 2021. Investigators on the scene of the house and property of a missing Lenawee County woman who was last seen on April 25th. According to the Lenawee County Sheriff's Office, FBI agents are at the residence of Dee Warner, 52, near Carson and Munger Roads in Tecumseh. Large mobile units were seen at the location with canvas tents set up. Lenawee County Sheriff Troy Bevier, Bevier, said there wasn't any specific tip that led to the search. This is kind of a cumulative of all the information we have got over the summer, either through tips or through investigation. We thought that this was a very prudent time to do an even more thorough search. We brought in a lot of help, partners from the FBI, MSP, which I'm assuming is the Michigan State Police, and DNR. I don't know what the DNR, what agency that is. The sheriff went on to say that in addition to Monday, Tuesday will potentially be another day the agencies will search the Warner's property. There's been no word on what law enforcement may have found. Sorry, my nose is itching. Or what they are looking for. As part of the ongoing investigation into the disappearance of Dee Warner, the sheriff's office is conducting another search of her residence and the surrounding property in an attempt to gather information on her into her whereabouts. Agencies joining the county sheriff's office on the scene include the FBI, Michigan State Police. So the MDR apparently is the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, K911 out of Flint, and Consumer Energy. In May, Crime Stoppers began asking for the public's help in locating Dee. Goes to what we've already covered about her disappearance. Detectives with the Lenawee County Sheriff's Office said they were responding to a lot of tips from the community. Obviously, as time goes on, we're more and more concerned about her safety as Mother's Day passed and she was not around and she did not make contact with anybody. Representatives said they appreciate all the tips and information. And the sheriff at that time said that he believed Dee did not have her cell phone. And while investigators have been watching her social media for any updates, she has not posted anything new. And they aren't ruling out anything at that point in time. The sheriff's office conducted targeted ground searches using trained search and rescue personnel from multiple agencies and groups looking for any information that could lead to Dee's location. So that was the ground search they did. This is just kind of a brief timeline of this case. Once again, somebody has been arrested. And we're going to get to that. Most of y'all, if you've heard of this case, may already know. I just want to give you a timeline for anybody who hadn't heard about this case, a timeline, brief timeline of what happened leading up to the arrest. Oh, so, surprise, surprise. Her husband, Dale, was arrested. So, let me find the article. There it is. So, how many of you out there are surprised that her husband, good old Dale Warner, was arrested for allegedly for her disappearance and presumed death? Get a drink of water. Y'all guys still awake out there, or am I boring you to death? Okay, so Dale, and this article is from November 22nd of 2023. So Dale Warner, Dee's husband, was arrested. This comes from clickondetroit.com. Says a Dee Warner homicide. Everything we know about the arrest of husband Dale Warner after 20 months. And Dale Warner is facing open red rum charge. And I had, when they said the open red rum, I had to go look that up and see what it meant. But after I read it, it jogged my memory. So I do have an explanation. There's Junior. Junior says, I made it. Sorry, I have company. It's okay. You're fine. You can always go back and watch the replay, what you missed. I've just been, you know everything. You know more than I do about this case. So I just gave a brief, as brief as I could make it, timeline of everything that's happened so far. So now we're up to good old Dale's arrest. So thank you for being here, Junior. And thank you once again for bringing this case to my attention. Anybody out there who's just coming in, Junior Johnson is the one who brought this attention to this case to my attention. And very, very sad, and hopefully it's close to being resolved. Hopefully it will be resolved soon. Allegedly, because Dale is the alleged offender. He's innocent until or unless proven guilty. But from everything, and Junior, I did go. Thank you for giving me that information about the interview room, their videos they did on it, McDonough and Billy Little. I did my homework last night and I watched the videos they did. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I went into it thinking that it was just a DV type situation that unfortunately might have got out of control and something very bad happened. But after reading or listening to what McDonough and Little had to say, I think it had a lot to do with this money and this trucking business and all that. So like I said, anybody new coming in, I've been Dandy has been putting in the link to the interview room YouTube channel. So if you want to know the in-depth, all the information, definitely go visit the interview room and watch their videos. They are very lots and lots of good information. You're welcome, Junior. Junior says, I appreciate you covering this. It's in my hometown. Absolutely. Yeah, anytime, and even when they haven't, we have an arrest, but Dee still has not been found. Her remains have not been found, and that is the most important part of this case. Setting aside the, Dale and allegedly if he's responsible, and all the money, whatever caused it, it all comes down to Dee is a victim. She still has not been found. Her family deserves to at least be able to find her remains and be able to lay her to rest. So thank you. Junior says, I live 4 blocks from the courthouse. So I haven't, the article I'm fixing to read is from November of 2023. And I look, so I'm going to read an article of when Dale was arrested. But I couldn't find any up-to-date information about any timeline of a trial or what's going on. So Junior, if you have any of that knowledge, you can feel free to put it in chat. Oh, that's cool. Junior says, I met Chris and Billy at one of the rallies. I would love to meet them. So I had heard of the interview room and I had watched little snippets of their videos, but I'd never until I sat down last night to watch their videos on this case. I'd never watched at length, but I'm definitely subscribed to them now. I'm going to, when I get time, binge watch them because I was just so impressed and so blown away by their dedication, their knowledge, and their all the information they have, and especially all the work that Billy Little did on Dee's case, and basically handed the case to these police agencies, or some of these police agencies that, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions weren't doing their best, or they're maybe dragging their feet a little bit on this case for whatever reason. McDonough, Chris McDonough and Billy Little have their opinions on why they were kind of dragging their feet, but definitely, like I said, go watch the video. And if we don't get the link put in here again, just go to YouTube and put in Dee Warner in the interview room, and it will bring up the videos that they did. All right. Enough of my babbling once again. Once again, thanks to everybody who is here, who is watching in replay. I appreciate it. I have made it. Anybody who's come in late, I have made it to my goal that I was shooting for on my subs was 400. Last time I checked, that was at 404. So thank you, everybody. I did set up a buy me a coffee account because somebody suggested that. So I've been trying to stick the link to that in there. And Junior said, yeah, please hit the like button for this video, please, for a little channel like mine. It helps tremendously. And anyone who may not have been here, anytime you donate to my buy me a coffee account, a portion of it will be donated to a very worthy foundation that goes out and helps free of charge to the families, helps families try to find their missing loved ones or their missing loved ones' remains. All right, so we will get into the arrest of Dale Warner. So the husband of Dee Warner has been charged with M after police spent 20 months investigating her disappearance in Lenawee County. And it says, here's everything we know about the case. We're going to skip over what we've already been over: her disappearance, the searches. So on Tuesday, November 21st, 2023, Michigan State Police announced that Warner's husband, Dale, had been arrested in connection with Dee's homicide, or with her presumed death. The arrest was made by detectives from the Michigan State Police 1st District Special Investigations Section. Dale John Warner, 53, of Tipton, was taken into custody at his home. According to authorities, troopers said the arrest was made after 1 year and 8 months of investigation. That search included hundreds of investigative hours by state police in Lenawee, or however you pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced different ways. County prosecutors. Dale Warner is charged with open M and tampering with evidence. He was arraigned Wednesday morning at a 2A district court in Lenawee County and is being held on a $20 million bond. A hearing on bond is scheduled for November 27th, and this was of 23. I'm extremely proud of the tireless work our detectives have put in to solve this case, said Captain Steve O'Neill, commander of the 1st District Headquarters. With incredible determination, they have pieced together a very difficult case, culminating with an arrest. This arrest is another step in our investigation, and we will continue our efforts to bring closure to the family and to find Dee's remains so that her family can lay her to rest. Police said they still have not been able to locate Dee's body. It's been more than 2.5 years since her disappearance. The detective, First Lieutenant Michael Dillon, said working a no-body homicide brings on unique challenges. The detectives on this case have done a phenomenal job with the investigation and working collaboratively with the Lenawee County prosecutor. I have the utmost confidence in this case moving forward. Family members believe Dee was a victim of a DV. I think it goes definitely DV, but I think after watching the interview rooms videos, it goes a lot deeper than that. Money, in my opinion, money had a lot to do with it too. The family says they have suffered a long share, and there's one person who could have eliminated all of that, and that's the person who is in jail tonight, meaning Dee Warner. Her brother Greg Hardy said, "My sister was a very strong person. I do believe that she thought she could handle the task at hand. She suffered from the same thing a lot of abused women have, and that is thinking that they can change the person that they're married to." Yes, that is unfortunately a symptom or side effect of DV. So anyone with more information is asked to call the Michigan State Police Monroe Post at 734-242-3500, and callers can remain anonymous if you wish. All right, so I think that, I was going to read what open red rum means, and I'm gonna have to make it bigger so I can. So when they were talking about he was been charged with open I can't say the whole word. Michigan law does not require, and I got this from some lawyery site. I can't remember. I have it bookmarked. Michigan law does not require a prosecutor to choose between first degree or second degree when issuing a complaint or even at trial. A prosecutor may charge open which is a combination of first and second degree, and the jury may determine the appropriate degree based on proof or evidence. So, from my hours of watching shows like the First 48, and there's a show, I can't remember what channel it's on, called Accused, Guilty or Innocent, where it does show court proceedings. I have seen, and I think this is the same thing, this open is in some cases, you can give the jury a choice if they want to find, after hearing all the evidence, they can either be found not guilty or guilty of something. A lot of cases, it's just one. It's either not guilty or it's guilty of first degree or second degree or manslaughter or whatever it is. But in some cases, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, a lot of you probably already know this, but from what I understand, in some cases, they leave it what they call the open where if the jury finds them guilty, they can either find them guilty, they're given a choice. And the choices are different depending on the case. The judge instructs the jury before they go out to deliberate, you can either find them not guilty or you can find them guilty of either first degree, second degree, manslaughter, or whatever the choices are. So that's my layman's definition of what open is. And I think from what, like I said, things I've watched and read, that prosecutors or district attorneys or whoever's in charge of what the charges are going to be, do this open because they might feel that the jury might think that the defendant is guilty of something, but maybe not first degree, but maybe second degree or manslaughter or whatever. So instead of taking the chance of only charging them with, say, like first degree or second degree, they'll give, you can either find them guilty of first degree, second degree, manslaughter, whatever. So that way the defendant will at least be convicted of something. Once again, that's just my basic goofy woman layman's explanation of that. I'm sure somebody out there can explain it more eloquently than I just did, but that is what limited knowledge that I have of this open All right, go back out and see if we got anything going on. All right, let's slide this up. I can't see anything. Okay, so that is the case of Dee Warner. You can see, I can't read it because it's about that small right now, because I wanted to check on comments and stuff and see what we got going on. But that is the case of Dee Warner. I hope I did a good enough job at, going through it and explaining it. But like I said, when it comes down to it, no matter if her husband Dale did or did not, is or is not the offender, the most important part of this case is Dee. As always, the victim and the victim's family is always the most important part of these cases. Obviously, she has still not been found, or her remains have still not been found. So her family she needs to be found, so our family can lay her to rest properly and do the things that they have to do to go through their grieving process and try to get back to a new normal or normal life. So anybody out there, please like, comment, share, so we can get more attention and more awareness of Dee out there to as many people as possible. That's the most important thing. That's the whole goal of my channel and purpose of my channel, is to get word out of these cases. Junior, thank you. Junior says, I'll be at the trial. I'll update everyone on what's going on. Thank you. Yes. I might have to have you, when things start, do you know when the trial is starting by any chance? I might have to have you as a guest on the show so you can update us, if you would want to be a guest on the show with my goofy self. But yes, definitely, yeah. Junior says, Billy has said he doesn't think they'll find her body. Yeah, I mean, because you saw, I think on the one slide, I'm not going to try to go back, but I think is on the slide I had for when they arrested him, they were doing some major digging on that property, but apparently, from what I understand, they didn't find anything on the property. Now, I don't know if there are any bodies of water that are close to that area. Unfortunately, I agree with you, or with Billy. They might never find her, and that's just such a sad and just breaks my heart. But hopefully, like I said, if, once again, Dale Warner is innocent until and unless proven guilty, but if he is the one that did it, hopefully there will be justice for Dee coming soon. But it will be, but to me, I almost don't want to say the second most important thing, but first thing is getting justice, but the second most important thing is if they could find her remains. But unfortunately, I agree with, she may never be found, and that's just so sad to me. All right, let me see if I can put like I said, if anybody missed it, I do have the Buy Me a Coffee account. Let me see if I can switch my screen for a minute and figure out which one I'm going to. Oh, God, goodness. Come on. Okay. Trying to type. Okay. Junior says, I'm sure when the next hearing is. I'll check and get back. It may not be till May. Thank you. Yes, Junior, any and all information you can give us when you have time to will be greatly appreciated. I appreciate you, buddy. All right, anybody got anything else y'all want to talk about? We went over anybody who came in late. We went over my lady that I was going to feature as my featured missing person tonight. Unfortunately, when I went back to check for an update, hold on. Unfortunately, they updated that she had been found deceased under very Could be very mysterious circumstances, so we covered that. So anybody, if you missed the beginning or if you're watching on replay, you can go back and watch that. I give all the information about that. I gave the update on Stephanie Loftin. She was one of my featured missing persons 2 or 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we had found out that she had been found deceased and she was the victim of a homicide. Then we got the update. Information was released publicly that her estranged boyfriend had been arrested for her homicide, and he has been charged with first degree. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Of course, we had the 83-year-old gentleman from Beaver, Oklahoma, who's missing. He still has not been found. That one scares me a lot. Just being his age, and it's been 5 days, 7, almost a week now. He had a dementia, COPD. He's diabetic, and he's still not been found. So just keep all these families that we've talked about tonight in your thoughts, prayers, and send them good vibes. And hopefully we can get some good information for some of these cases. All right, guys, it's been almost 2 hours, so I'm going to quit babbling and get out of here. Once again, before you leave, if you haven't already, please subscribe. If it's your first time here and haven't subscribed, like, share, comment, all that helps push this information out to more people, and the more people that see these cases and are made aware of them, the better. Let's see what Junior said. Somebody posted something. Oh gosh, I didn't even think about it. Junior says the big thing now is her family getting custody of her youngest daughter. So do you know who has? I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh. Do you know where the daughter is now? So she would be what, 11 or 12 now? She was 9 when Dee went missing, and that was in 21. So she would be around 11 or 12, right? Do you know who has her? I can't remember. I know when I watched the video from the interview room, I can't remember if it said members of Dale's family had her, maybe. But Junior, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I feel so sorry for the whole family, but yeah, for the youngest daughter. But no matter what age you are, if you lose a parent, it's just devastating. So, but yeah, just thoughts and prayers to the whole family. All right, guys. If y'all don't have anything else, like I said, I also have my Buy Me a Coffee fund set up now, so please do check that out. Oh, what did I do? No, I want the comments. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Junior says he's not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll look into that and see, or you can leave a comment after the live stream or whatever. You are very welcome, Junior. Like I said, you are one of my loyal, what I call one of my core of loyal viewers. So when you wanted me to feature this case, absolutely. And anybody out there watching or watching replay, if you have any friends or family that's went missing, or just any case from that's close to you or dear to your heart that you don't think is getting enough attention, and I'm just a small channel, but every little bit helps, please do. You can email me, and let me put you can email me at wildirishrose71@gmail.com. Give me the name of the person, or approximate date or year and what state it happened in. And I'll definitely look into it. Thank you, Michigan Wifey. Have a good rest of your evening. You too, dears. Thank you, everybody who was here. Michigan Wifey, Junior Johnson, of course, Dandy Linus, all the lurkers. Thank you all for being here too. All right, guys, I'm going to quit babbling now because I know it's probably past some of y'all's bedtime. I know, Michigan Wifey, it's probably past your bedtime. All right, guys. So until so today is what, Friday? Monday, I will upload my missing person Monday video, and then I will figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the week, what my case of the week this coming week will be. I think I have some more requests. I've got all the requests that all of you guys have given me of cases to look at written in my notebook, and I will definitely check them out and see what I can get worked up and done with those. So until next time, everybody stay safe and warm out there. Take care of each other. That's the most important thing we can do, is take care of our fellow human beings. Thanks again, everybody watching on replay, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.